Hello to you once again. So it's been a somber mood in the country as gender-based violence cases reappeared in the spotlight. So the rape of the 7-year-old girl in the Eastern Cape has sparked outrage with marches in several provinces, as we've seen this week. In another case this week, we also saw the acquittal of Televangelist Timothy Omotoso and 2 others on rape and human trafficking charges. Let's join now Nomkhitha Gysman, who is an expert and chairperson of the Eugenia Nothemba Gxowa Foundation. Thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate your time, Sis Nomkhitha. I mean, it's been a devastating week, for South Africa, and a lot of commentary on whether we are failing our women and children. But the courts have found, in particular in the case of the televangelist, have found him not guilty together with 2 others, and investigations are still ongoing into the rape of the 7-year-old girl in Matatiele. Are we failing women and children? Maybe that's where we should start.
Good morning, Crisenda. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, loud and clear. Please continue.
Thanks very much for having us, and not to mention the opportunity to throw in the stone also to the discussions that are taking place. In this Xhosa, we call it Isivivane. I agree with you. It's a very, very sad week in South Africa. Am I correct to say the week? Because it's been like this. Every week, every day, we hear a new thing. But these 2 that you have just mentioned were just, they broke the camel's back, definitely. It is very sad indeed, the incident in Matatiele of a 7-year-old girl. I can't even call her an adolescent girl because she's far below the age bracket, which is classified as adolescent year. I mean, the parents, the mothers, the fathers, the parents of children don't take their kids to be violated at school. It's worse, it's sexual violence at school. And nobody is coming up to account of what happened during school hours. We hear that the girl was violated at school. She was called by someone to go and sweep a classroom. And after that, all is history. When the mother discovered what has happened, nobody could account. According to the media reports, the principal talked with the mother, saying this must not it must end between the 2 of us. What is the meaning of that? When a child's innocence has been brutally taken away, how does it remain between the 2 of them? And all of a sudden, we hear that AfriForum has been contracted to play a certain role, a PR stance for the school and for the principal. One of the statements that came up strongly was that the girl must have been raped, must have been sexually assaulted at a community party. How can a 7-year-old girl go to a party and then she gets raped and the parent only sees it, and then when the parent takes it up, this is the outcome?
Yeah.
We hear that the MEC for Education tried to deregister the school with immediate effect, but it seemed as if he didn't follow the correct procedure. He withdrew he withdrew that deregistration. Yeah. But the bottom line to me is that the child has been sexually violated.
Yeah.
His virginity has been brutally taken away. And nobody is coming up to account. We heard from the Minister
I
of
just want to
Police
come in.
talking about the...
Sorry, Sis Nomkhitha, I just want to come
Okay,
in
sorry.
there. Yes. Investigations are still underway at the moment. And in fact, in the previous hour, we did speak to the police on exactly what the latest is regarding this particular matter. Not much can be said due to the sensitivity of this particular case. And also the fact that, we're hearing from police this morning on some clarification that there was no foreign DNA that was found on the little girl. There are 3 persons of interest. DNA or buccal samples have been taken from those 3 individuals, but they've not been compared to the little girl because there was no foreign DNA, according to the police, that was found on the little girl. It's a very, very, very complicated matter, I think, at this particular stage. And we do understand that investigations are still very sensitive in this issue. But also when it comes to the investigation of these matters and when it does go through the prosecutorial processes, I just want to go to the Timothy Omotoso matter. There was a lot of outrage regarding that particular case. And a lot of South Africans, saying that, it's quite preposterous that this has even happened. And the judge in the matter lambasting even the cross-examination of Timothy Omotoso as the trial was ongoing, that it was simply insufficient. It was not enough. So it means that, the authorities themselves here didn't do their job.
I agree with you fully. If we move to Omotoso, I agree with you fully. If you read, I've not read it thoroughly, the judgment. A friend sent it to me early this morning, requesting that can we both read this and we discuss it. Reading from the newspapers, listening to the news and online, I want to believe the NPA, as usual, has not done its homework. Even the lead prosecutor didn't read properly what rape is. That's what makes me mad. As a result, they went to the court with lean questions, lean arguments. As a result, Omotoso, I would say temporarily, he is off the hook. I won't say he is innocent. Omotoso is guilty. It is the duty of the NPA, it is the duty of the court to get proper evidence and start to prosecute him. And he is thrown into jail for many years. I heard people saying this guy must be deported. I want to disagree with that. When you deport him, you want him to be a problem of women in the country where he comes from. Because you can see that the guy enjoys a lot of power. It's worse in my country. He enjoys a lot of power in the sense that people have got this belief of Christianity, evangelism, because I can see that he's a flamboyant a priest, that people listen a lot to him.
Yes.
We had the Minister of Justice, saying,
yes.
I want the report.
And I think it will be very difficult
so that we can start.
Apologies, so that we can start. Please finish your sentence.
I'm saying the minister wants to get the report from the Eastern Cape. We had the head of NPA in the Eastern Cape saying, I don't have much to report on until we've got the fact on the table. But the whole thing doesn't gel nicely with every woman in the country who is progressive. Of course, there were women who were supporting him at the court, and the Women's League was there supporting the victims. When you see one of the whistleblowers crying after the judgment has been passed.
Yeah.
It was very sad. And I said, is this the South Africa we want?
Yes.
The answer is no. This is not what we fought for.
Sister Nomkhitha, thank you so much. You know, it's been a devastating week, you know, for South Africans. I think many people, you know, have had opinion on these two particular big cases, you know, and how we saw all of this unfold during the course of this week. Thank you very much for lending voice to that. And I guess the question that's being asked is, if Timothy Omotoso is to be deported, if, you know, there's been outrage also from the Minister of Justice, who wants this matter further looked into, and how it arrived at the conclusion that it did of him not being found guilty and two others. How difficult would it be to get him brought back to South Africa if the circumstances would change in terms of looking at this matter a little bit further? Thank you very much indeed. We do appreciate your time.